What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back to my banner review series. In this series I review a banner and tell you guys if it's worth summoning on that banner or not. So recently the Performing Arts banner was released, which features Inigo and Shigure for the first time, and Azura as an axe unit and Olivia as a dagger unit. So we got 3 ranged dancers and an axe dancer. These special units are temporary, so after their banner is gone, they will be gone forever and they will not be added to the common summoning pool like the other units. So let's begin with Dark Azura or Axe Azura. She's an axe dancer and she's got a pretty similar stat spread to her Lance farm. Her base attack and speed are good and resistance is decent, however her defense and HP are poor. With these stats she can be a good player phase unit and a Reinhardt check, and also support your allies with her Sing skill. She's got a legendary axe Uror which gives +3 boost to all of the stats of an ally who she sings to. This is actually incredible and makes her a great support unit. She can be paired up with Blade Tome users and make them extremely powerful while giving them another turn. Obviously her support is not as consistent as Ephraim or Erika, but you could always just run Hone Attack on Axe Azura to make sure that your Blade Tome unit does a good amount of damage before getting sung. Triangle Adept is her slotty skill and it is actually a really good skill for her because this allows her to tank hit from a plus attack Death Blow Reinhardt who has got Quick and Pulse Moonbow. So Azura can be a great check to him and easily help you bait out Reinhardt. Drive Res is a decent skill, but something like Hone Attack would be much better on her because like I said, Hone Attack is a more consistent form of support compared to the skill which she has got in her axe. So that's why Hone Attack is definitely very good if you plan to use her with a Blade Tome user. Overall, Azura is the best dancer in the game right now because of her legendary axe, and that not only provides the boost but it also helps her with her viability in the tier 20 arena because having a legendary weapon will give you more arena points. Her offensive stats are also slightly better than regular Azura, and green is just a much better color in this metagame in my opinion compared to blue because you've got Reinhardt, so that's why being green definitely helps. For skill intense, Luna, Moonbow, Iceberg and Draconic Aura work as their special depending on the IVs of your Azura. You can also run Wings of Mercy as your slot B skill because it's an amazing skill for dancers and singers, and Hone Attack as a slot C skill because like I said, it's a more consistent form of support. Distant Counter is not really that good of a skill on her because then she will not be able to survive Reinhardt. She needs Triangle Adept to always reliably take hits from Reinhardt. Unless you are a Veil, then I guess a +8 merged Azura can run Distant Counter to take hits from him and then kill Reinhardt in that same turn. A non-merged Azura or a low merged Azura will not benefit at all from Distant Counter. She's definitely a top tier unit and the best unit from this banner in my opinion. Now let's move on to Olivia. She's a dagger unit this time, which makes her a ranged dancer. Her base attack is pathetically low at 28 and she's quite fast with above average res. With this low attack, she definitely struggles to do damage. Her weapon Dancer's Fan has got Breath of Life 3 built into it, so that makes her a good passive healer. It also debuffs opponent for -7 defense and -7 res. She comes with distant defense and because of it, she can function as a decent magic check, but due to lack of res and HP, she cannot really tank hits from Reinhardt like Felicia can. So Felicia still has got her niche where she can be an incredible magic tank. This is her limit and she can take on a +5 merged Reinhardt at max if she's neutral and unmerged. Obviously a plus res or plus HP Olivia will be able to tank hits from Reinhardt much better, but she's not 100% Reinhardt proof, but still a decent check to him, so that's pretty good. She also has Blaze Dance as her slot B skill, and honestly, Hone Attack works much better and is more consistent like I said. So these dance skills are not really very impressive because you have to give up on Wings of Mercy for these skills, which can only be activated after you have used Dance or Sing on an ally. So they're not really super consistent and you can just run Hone Speed or Hone Attack as your slot C skill. So with Olivia, Wings of Mercy and Hone Attack is definitely good. Guard 2 as a slot B skill from a 4-star Titania or Leon is also a really good option for Olivia and lets her take on Quick and Pulse Moonbow Reinhardt because if you guys not know, Guard skill prevents you to charge up your special. So with that, Reinhardt is not able to use Moonbow on Olivia and kill her, so that's pretty good. And Olivia's low base attack really hurts her a lot, but she's a great support unit due to the fact that she can use Dance and can somewhat take a role of a magic check with her distant defense skill. So out of the box she's pretty good because of distant defense skill. Now let's move on to the second best unit from this banner, Inigo. Inigo is a green tome dancer in this game. At first, you might say that his stats are not very impressive, but Inigo is a monster and he's a classic example of do not judge a book by its cover. I will elaborate on that later. His base attack is low and overall his bulk is pretty low, but he's fast. Honestly, if these speed points went into his defense or res, it would have been really good for him because he does not really need that much speed. Base 30 speed would have been enough for him in my opinion. His weapon also has Breath of Life 3 built into it just like Olivia's, and he comes with Gale Dance as his slot B skill, which has got good synergy with Hone attack, but like I said, it's not very consistent and something like Wings of Mercy is better, but in Inigo's case, Bowbreaker is his best slot B skill. Inigo is actually a monster with Ground Raven plus Tome and Triangle Adept, and with that he can even take on a plus 10 merged Horse Emblem Quicken Pulse Moonbow Reinhardt and basically just devour any kind of Reinhardt in that same turn. This Inigo is neutral IVs and is unmerged, and that Reinhardt is plus 10 merged. Not only that, Inigo completely annihilates Brave Lane, but for that you need to run Bowbreaker. Quick Riposte should not be run on a Raven Tome Inigo, and instead Bowbreaker should be run so that Bravelyn does not kill Inigo. As you can see, Inigo is a great unit. Now you would say that other green mages with Ground Raven can do the same thing against Reinhardt and Bravelyn, so it's not really anything new, but what they can do is provide dance support like Inigo, and that's why Inigo is different from them and a top tier unit. Being able to provide dance support while also demolishing two biggest threats in the metagame is just too good in my opinion, so he's definitely a great unit. For skill inheritance, like I said, Ground Raven, Bowbreaker, and Triangle Adept is amazing for him. And now let's move on to the last unit from this banner, Shigure. Shigure has got bad speed, average attack, and bad bulk. I would say that he's the most underwhelming unit from this banner because he just does not fill a niche as well as Azura or Inigo can. Shigure is in a weird limbo where he cannot be a very good Blade Tome user because of his low speed, so he has to resort to Raven Tomes to do another role other than being a singer, and he can also run a Raven Tome with Triangle Adept and Bowbreaker just like Inigo, but he has got less HP and less defense than Inigo. Still, he's able to check any kind of Bravelyn in the game with that. Robin of course is a better blue Raven Tome user, but Robin cannot really support with Sing like Shigure, so that's why Shigure has got a slight niche I guess over Robin. Red mages are not very common, but Shigure can check those with his Raven Tome Triangle Adept set, so that's something. Blue Raven Tomes are not really as good as red Raven Tomes or green Raven Tomes because they simply fail to check green mages like Nino, who are super common like red Raven Tomes can, and they cannot really check two biggest threats in the metagame like how green Raven Tomes can. So if Shigure was a red tome user, it would have been slightly better for him. His default tome also has Breath of Life 3 built into it just like Inigo and Olivia, so he can be a great passive healer if you decide to run Breath of Life Slot C skill and Breath of Life Sacred Seal, and yes, those three skills do stack up so you can heal up allies for 17 HP when you initiate combat, so that is amazing. And Geyser Dance is a decent skill for tanks and enemy phase because you will be able to use dance to position them properly while giving them a nice defensive boost to take on units in the enemy phase. Blue Tome Valor is an amazing skill because it's a Valor skill, and blue mages usually have a pretty expensive skill set because a lot of the blue mages like Mei and Summer Corrin need to run Blade Tome, so this skill definitely helps with that. Shigure himself needs a pretty expensive Raven Tome set to function at his max potential, so he can definitely make good use of this. Shigure can be a good support unit, a decent Bravelyn check, and a good red magic check. However, his stat spread is still quite underwhelming. A lot of people have questions about how ranged dancers are going to be affecting the metagame. Some people think that Reinhardt and ranged units will become really good with these ranged dancers, which is true because if you guys do not know, melee dancers would always move before the ranged units like Reinhardt, but these are ranged dancers, so ranged dancers cannot dance other ranged units if those ranged units have got an assist skill. But if a Reinhardt lacks an assist skill, then that Reinhardt is definitely going to get danced by a ranged dancer, and he's coming for your team. I do not think that people will stop running assist skill on their ranged units, but still, you need to watch out for such things in arena now. So ranged dancers are definitely going to be affecting the metagame, but if you're a Veil, then I guess you do not have to worry about them because their base stat total is pretty low, and if you're a Veil, then you're probably not going to be facing such teams with low BST units. But people who usually have got like +2 or +3 range units, they might be facing some insane +10 merged Olivias, Inigos, and Shigures, so watch out for those. So ranged dancers are very good on arena defense teams, and now I will give you guys my final verdict on this banner. I give this banner a rating of 9 out of 10. All of these units provide excellent utility and also do other roles like how Inigo can check both Brave Lyn and Reinhardt, and how Azura can check Reinhardt and be a good player phase unit. They all are top tier units solely because of the unparalleled and the unmatched support they can provide with Sing and Dance and Sing skills let your nukes like Reinhardt, Brave Lyn, Celica, Nino and Bright Cordelia have another turn to destroy something or return back to the safe area, and that is huge actually. These units can do that, but units like Inigo and Azura are something else with how they can do other roles while giving such a great support to your team. So the best unit from this banner is Azura, followed by Inigo, then Olivia and at last Shigure. I'm not really saying that Shigure is bad by any means, but it's just that his stat spread really hurts him. Olivia actually has good speed and decent res. If you're a free to play player, then my advice would be to only summon from the greenstones on this banner and try to get Azura or Inigo, as those two are the best units from this banner. But of course, if you have an affinity towards Shigure and Olivia, they can be summoned for as well, but if you do not have any kind of affinity towards those two, then just stick with the greenstones. You should definitely try to summon on this banner because of Azura and Inigo, and this banner will last for a month, so you have a lot of time to gather your orbs and use them on this banner if you want to, and you can always wait 2 more weeks and see what the next banner is and decide on which banner you want to summon. The next banner is most likely going to be Genealogy of the Holy War banner, and it will have Sigurd. So that's going to conclude my video. If you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like and do not forget to subscribe so that you do not miss out on guides like these and more heroes content. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.